It was not my first time working with non-actors. The rawness and the realness that they bring is they don't know how to do anything else. It's either nothing or everything. And they're not afraid to make mistakes, which are usually gold.
This is such a unique and fascinating story. And I for people who don't know, many of these characters in the film are playing versions of themselves. Can you sort of talk about how you first came across Tabitha and this whole world?
Yeah, I was driving around the U.S. I took a wrong turn down a road in South Dakota, and I met a woman named Amy. She told me, hey, if you want a really amazing story, head east of Wall and find a woman named Tabitha. And so I did. The second I saw those teenagers and I saw Tabby, I just was so fascinated and in love with them. And I ended up living with them for 3 years before I even made this film.
Were you working there or just kind of hanging out? Did you just show up one day and not leave? Or
Well, when I met them, I was there for 5 days, and then I came back to LA, looked at the footage, and I was like, I don't really know what this is. I was just out there. I became like their ranch hand. I just did everything that they needed me to do around the ranch, and our relationship would just get deeper and deeper, and they would just really start trusting me, and I would trust them, and kind of blossom into this thing. And then I made like a sizzle reel, and that's how I ended up getting the money to shoot East of Wall. And I think it was around then I started teaching them how to act. So we had about like 1.5 years of me teaching them how to act. It was very natural because I think I didn't have the weight of a studio over me. No one knew about me. No one knew about this project. So it was also organic. I didn't even really believe it was happening until all of a sudden I hear that Scoot McNairy wants to be in this and Jennifer Ely, and I get an amazing producer like Lila Koob, and oh my God, now I have the money.
And Scoot, how did this story find its way to you? Because I don't think there was a script yet, was there?
No, there wasn't. I can't be 100% specific, but I remember getting a sizzle reel sent to me from my manager about this project, and there was no script. They were like, hey, if you saw the sizzle reel, it's incredibly intriguing. And I saw that and immediately was kind of like, what is this? I want to be involved, or what's going on? Who's this and who's what? 4 or 5 months later or something, they were shooting the movie. I was like, wow, this is happening.
You immersed yourself in this world for 3 years, so you knew it pretty well. You feel right at home in this world. I don't know if that's just good acting or if you went to cowboy school or something.
I grew up in Texas. I grew up riding horses since I was a little kid, but this family is something that I always saw from the outside. I was very close to it, but I was never inside. It was really amazing to sort of step inside their world and see it and sort of live in it and function in it. But no, it was something that was familiar to me, but not that familiar to me.
He gives over 100% into everything. So like even on days where he wasn't called, I'd be on set and I'd turn and I would see him coming down on the dirt bike with Jesse, and it was, and then he would sometimes take a cast member home like to Pine Ridge, which is like 2 hours away from our location. So it's like he really understood what docu-fiction meant, and that he had to fully immerse himself in the short time he could to really understand, so he didn't pop that docu-fiction bubble, which is very easy to pop if it's not done correctly. Yeah.
And did you also know that's how you wanted to tell this story? Because I love the film for what it is, but I can see an argument made for like, you could do a documentary of it, you could do a narrative feature. Did you ever consider any alternatives?
No. I think being a documentary filmmaker is a very specific skill, and I respect it so much, and it's not my skill set. I really love working with actors, and I love being able to find new talent and new faces as actors. To me, it was a no-brainer, and of course, in a world you could say you can have more money, more of a budget if you hired professional actors to play roles like Tabitha, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, but you can't fake what these women are doing. You can't fake Portia flying through on a horse, lifted like 3 inches off a saddle. And you can't fake that authenticity that these women have been doing manual labor their whole life.
And Scoot, for you, what was it like to work with, I'm going to call them first-time actors, because they're definitely actors now.
Yeah.
Well, Kate would sit down with me too and tell me what I'm doing wrong. It wasn't just them.
Did he do more work than the first-time actors, did you find?
No, he was amazing.
No, I feel like actors, they learn something from every role, whether it's, a new skill but working with first-time actors, I'm kind of curious what they might have taught you.
It was not my first time working with non-actors. I love it. The rawness and the realness that they bring is they don't know how to do anything else. It's either nothing or everything. And they're not afraid to make mistakes, which are usually gold. Having worked on films with non-actors before, it's incredibly difficult to get non-actors to say lines.
Really?
And make them real. If you let them go, they're great. But to give them lines and make them real sometimes cannot work. And so it's a feat that Kate was able to pull and edit and cut performances out of these. They were great. I'm not going to say that at all, but it's really, really difficult to make non-actors say lines and make them sound real.
I'm assuming it was a challenging shoot, but was there anything that maybe you had originally scripted that you wanted to do and you weren't able to pull off because of time or money, and it actually ended up working out better?
I think with like a film like this, especially when you're working with kids and horses, you have to have everything planned, sure. You're working with incredible artists, crew and actors. You just have to all like kind of lean on each other to make something magical, or it's not going to feel magical and it's going to feel very linear. And so, yeah, there was moments like, especially shooting in South Dakota where the weather is so nuts, but like there's the kids in the mud, for example, like I was freaking out because of continuity, and then I just was like, what if we just shoot all the kids in the mud right now, and how free is that? So there's moments, and I just had to let go as a director because I'm not going to get everything, and that's fine, and that's actually even better. Yeah, and that's a huge lesson that I learned. Which I'm super excited about to take into my next project.
They're also great in this film, and I believe Portia was interested in acting even before making this. Do you know if they have plans to continue?
Yeah, when I first met Portia, I had her to do a little. I was filming her, and she whispered in my ear. She goes, "I've actually always wanted to act, but no one's ever asked me." And then, of course, like her mom, if anyone ever heard her say that, she would just die. You know? But yeah, she wants to do horror films. She's really good taste. Like her favorite actress is Mia Goth, which I think is so cool. And so yeah, she likes doing that kind of stuff. I'm excited. I'm excited for them all. Like one of the kids, Skylar in the film, he knew nothing about film, and all of a sudden after this he got into NYU for directing.
No kidding.
So it's really exciting. I learned so much from them, and then for them to really start embracing their artistic side is incredible.
Did any of the kids hit you up for advice on making it in the business or anything?
No, but at lunch one of them said to the other one, "How old do you think she is?" And the kid said 32 or something. And I was like, "How old do you think I am?" And he goes, 90. No, I had a blast with the kids. They didn't ask me for advice. They were hosing me the whole time.
And they're convinced that I'm 18. And they just call me Producer Kate because they don't understand that I'm the director.
18, but he's 90?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for coming.